Grace and Sophie, we're going to talk about
baby adult. Yeah, if you were here, you heard me talking about baby adults. So I'd love some perspective actually about what does it mean? What was that expectation like about your 18th birthday? What changed for you when you was having your 18th birthday?
Mine wasn't really around my 18th birthday.
Okay.
Because we were talking about it at 4 a.m. and I think when you're in education, like schooling education, there's so much routine and structure and you don't really have much choice and freedom and do whatever you want to do kind of thing. So I was in education, I went to uni, so I left when I was 21. And
you're still a baby adult?
And that's when I began adult after I left.
Wow.
So I'm a baby adult. I'm a 4-year-old adult.
4 years?
I'm a two. We're the same age, but I'm a 2-year-old adult.
And that's based upon the education line.
Technically, so we were saying it's not necessarily the education line, but like where you have that kind of adolescent experience, and then you transition into the next phase. For us, we were saying when we were at university, you were still kind of in that adolescent mindset, and then finishing university and kind of emerging out of that experience, you become in a new phase, and you're a baby adult. And
right.
And there's continuous new phases.
Yeah.
But I want to because the reason this kind of conversation was because of the 18.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to listen while eating over there,
That's
right? So
fine.
you can't see me scoffing my face.
Let's cast our mind back to when we were 18.
Thank you. Oh, this is so great. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm listening. I'm going to be in the audience.
Danielle.
Yes, all for me.
Because we're 24, so 6 years ago, is that right?
Yep.
Can someone fact check
6
me?
years ago.
6 years ago. So we were 18, we were at school. Sixth form?
Last year of sixth form.
Yeah.
So,
okay, did you know what you wanted to do, or what was our headspace? We'd probably decided on where we were going to university.
I hated A levels.
Yeah.
I wanted to leave as soon as physically possible.
Yeah.
Decided on uni. Because that was just like something that I always wanted to do, and it never I never considered doing something different.
Yeah.
I'm glad I made that choice. Like, it was the right choice for me. But I do think that was me like extending I don't have to make a choice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think at the time it was like, I hate school. I hate this so much because it was so rough. But I think when I was 18, I was like, cool, like I can now drive. I can do what I want. Like, I've got a bit more freedom, but I've not got enough freedom to take complete like ownership of my decisions.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
I'm really trying to think back to when we were 18. I just remember, like, you're in the same body, but I feel so different now.
You know everything.
Yeah, because
you know everything.
When you're 18, you're really going through the threshold into, like, you're an adult and you're stepping into what you think that is, and trying to live up to an identity that you don't really understand because you're still at school in a kind of rhythm or in a routine that's still kind of...
I think it's an external pressure because the external force has put you in a system that you're still in and you can't change and you can't like defer out of it.
But then I think turning 18 now, like this was 6 years ago, so the experience of becoming an 18-year-old now, I feel like even for us it was quite... It's already changing a lot.
Well,
quicker.
we turned 18 pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Which I think is a massive difference.
How do you think it's quite different now?
Well, when we were turning 18, it was normal to like, we'd grown up with the, okay, you can go out and you can do what you want almost, and like, kind of.
Everyone would try and arrange some kind of.
Yeah, we'd never like faced a time where you weren't able to do that. You could go to Priory and you could
go to Priory.
There was so many things, and then COVID hit, so much stuff shut down, so many people lost their communication skills and the ability to like express how they were feeling and therefore like actually talk to humans on a one-on-one.
Yeah, and I think in the essence of turning 18, you're of the age where you can legally drink, so obviously it opens up being able to go and experience nightlife and clubbing, but I think that landscape has changed so much for good and bad, but I think the evening night clubbing scene has changed a lot in a way that I don't know, because I don't really go night clubbing
No,
anymore.
I feel like a disclaimer to put out that we are not.
We are grandmas.
Yeah,
Although
we
we've been
don't
quite
rave like
crazy
Danielle
and
does.
stayed up. We've stayed up all night.
No, I do think you're right. Like
But the clubbing landscape has changed. Like that's why you first set up C58.
Pre-COVID was very. This is what you do. You turn 18, you go to pre-drinks at a friend's house, you go to a bar, then you go to a club, and then you go to another club, and then you might go home, or you might go whatever. But now, because so many clubs have shut down, because that's not really the scene anymore, there's like a split between I'm going to go out for dinner or I'm going to go out and drink and drink and drink and drink. Do you know, I don't...
Yeah.
Like, there's somewhat of a middle ground where it's like, okay, cool, like, I'll have a couple and then I'll go home. But I don't think that's as common as, like, stark opposites. Do you agree? Would you agree?
I think so. I mean, I definitely think the landscape of what you can do in the evening, I feel like there's such a fragmented high street and...
Yeah, if we're focusing on St. Neots specifically, for sure.
Yeah.
There isn't really... There's no alternative to...
Saying
I'm
that,
going to go to the pub.
Cambridgeshire Hunter seems to be a hot spot.
Cambridgeshire
Madison's
Hunter does
just
seem to be a
opened,
hot spot,
so
yeah.
things are emerging.
I mean,
so who
we're
knows?
all pro hospitality, but
Yeah.
I think that is one of the differences, that it's not common to go out and drink way too much. And
or maybe it is, and we're just
Maybe
really
we're just
boring
old.
now, and we have no idea, and we just need to be told that like life is still fun and exciting.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna check the question list
I
so
ju-
we
yeah.
can discuss a fun question.
But this is why we're all about baby adults, and like every phase is different, and I think COVID changed so much, so I don't think we're necessarily the right people to ask about being 18 now. Because
Should get Jack up here.
6 years ago is mental. Jack's still knackered.
He's been a coffee legend today, by the way. Shout out to Jack, who's been looking after everyone, making sure they've all got a drink, so he's been a superstar.
Keeping himself awake and
Yeah.
functioning by making other people coffees. It's great. It's great. Go on, Soph. What you got for us?
Okay, I'm looking. Alex has like sent the most extensive list of questions.
Yeah,
Just
talking
in case
about
we run
AI.
out of
He
things to
trained in
talk about,
AI
which
in us.
Never happened. So, what's something you've changed your mind about in the last few years?
Being awake after 11 p.m.
Why?
I like sleep and I want to go to sleep. With last night being the exception, I can't lie.
That was quite fun.
Although on the drive on the way here, I was like, what are we doing? This is insane. 11 p.m. on a Sunday night. Wild to be leaving the house. But I do think in the last few years, I think my attitude towards what we should be doing. I mean, we touched on it earlier. There's a lot of comparison between other people. I think social media obviously doesn't help that, but in general, it's like oh my gosh, there's part of me that's like, oh my gosh, I'm 24, that's so old, and then part of me that's like, oh my gosh, you're only 24, chill out. But I do still think that those two pressures are from other people. I haven't quite made up my mind where I sit on, am I old, am I not old? I know I'm not old, but I'm not 18. Do you know what I mean? It's very...
Age is a weird thing.
And I do just think that now, more than ever, I'm very aware of what I don't know, more than what I do know. But then, not in like I don't know anything way, I'm more aware of what I want to know about.
I think learning that there's always going to be things that you don't know kind of breaks you open to just living a bit more curiously, and then you're more open to learning new things. Whereas if you try and know how everything works, it can be quite uncomfortable to come across things that you don't understand.
And super overwhelming. That probably brings us back to 18. Like when you're 18, you're an adult. And it's like, you should know all of this stuff, and you're a grown-up, and you're allowed to drink, and you're allowed to go out and do whatever you want, and you're allowed to vote and gamble and do all of the stuff that you've never been allowed to do before. So it's super overwhelming, and you're like, wow, I can do anything. I'm a superhero, but you actually just don't know how anything, like the reality of stuff. But I do feel like that's a difference between now and when we were 18.
Yeah.
What about you? What
what's new over the past couple of years? What have you
What I
realised?
changed my mind about over the last few years. I think, I hope I'm changing my mind. I want to change my mind at school and even through university, and maybe not that long ago because I cried about something to do with university. Putting a lot of pressure on myself to perform academically and thinking that like I was the value of what I achieved in like a number on a page
You are
and
your
how well I
grade.
did at school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think now I feel a lot more enriched by experiences that I've had personally, and also hearing people's stories, like sitting here this morning and watching all of these amazing speakers just sharing their stories and also giving a voice to the organisations that they're there on behalf of is such an enriching thing that no number on any page that I ever got back at school gave me.
No, you
And
can't compare it.
Yeah, and I feel like that's...
But like they're just human people.
Yeah, but it's
like we put so much, I put so much pride in knowing these people and championing them in our community, but they
Yeah.
are just people.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I do think that like I do forget that sometimes. I'm trying to actively be more aware.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, like you can't compare yourself to anyone else, but you also can't compare yourself to the grade that some teacher or professor gives
and
you.
I do think now because I'm around, like coming to the hub so much, it's like such an infectious feeling, the positivity.
in a good way.
In a good way. But it's such an infectious feeling seeing how much people are really passion driven in the service of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, when you're in a schooling system that really focuses on individual performance and memory retention and stuff like that, that's something I really absorbed growing up. And
It's been instilled in us since we were,
Yeah.
4, 5?
and this is like a different ball game. This is nothing to do with educational performance.
No.
And there's a completely different feeling about it, but it's undeniable the impact this has. And like they were all talking earlier about, it's not just this like abstract thing, it's an economic impact in the community as well. So it's just such a whole experience. It's so wonderful. Yeah. Okay. I'm
Like
going to
the
stop
hub.
saying weird things now.
Keep saying weird things.
So I'm going to scroll through the next questions. La 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 la.
Pick a fun one.
So, when does the system fail people?
Is this the one that it's Grace and Sophie Gold?
Yeah,
Yeah.
systems versus people.
So
Grace
you're
and Sophie
you're
Gold.
the systems one. When do
Yeah.
systems fail?
Okay, so.
So for context, Sophie's a food policy student.
Yes.
She's doing a master's degree.
Yes.
So we talk a lot when she comes in here. I say we. Me and Alex mostly just listen. And
I have what
Yeah,
I would
Sophie.
call verbal diarrhea.
and we say that's really cool.
Yeah.
And we don't know what she's talking about when she's talking about agroecology and soil pollution and
Yeah.
tomatoes. But a lot of the conversations that stem from Sophie coming in here after uni or after doing some coursework or research is all about how the systems are rubbish.
Mm.
So whether that's the food systems, whether that's education systems,
Yeah.
or like all of the government kind of things. So do you want to talk soil?
I could talk soil. I could talk system and what that means.
Go on.
And yeah, we do at uni. I'm kind of learning about systems thinking, and it's also what you guys did for setting up the initial co-design for the Wellbeing Wednesday. It was a co-design meeting, which was open invitation to all of the citizens, and it invited everyone to come here and basically map the whole wellbeing system within St. Neots, and that was all of the services that already existed, all of the services that should be there, and kind of collectively having this like system mapping of what's already here, what should be here, and also a discussion of kind of vulnerability and things that aren't necessarily like what's already here or what should be here. It's the feelings and the kind of just giving people space to speak. It we don't have a simple life. No one has a simple life. We don't live in a simple world, and the systems are quite complicated. And so a lot of things that we're learning about is how to kind of understand all of those things. And in the context of food, where the system fails people is often we see massive, especially at the moment, massive increasing in people needing access and relying on food banks, and also the reliance on the NHS for non-communicable diseases, from diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, or obesity, and it's from diet-related health issues, which can come from not being able to access a healthy diet, and that can be physically or economically or for whatever reason. So in those situations, the system is kind of where there's not the right transport infrastructure, or there's not the right educational awareness, or there's not the right kind of healthcare providing support. So those are the kind of key areas. Also, if you're, for whatever reason, finding yourself in hospital or even in prisons, places where there's procurements by the government to provide food, those aren't always the healthiest options. And that's not one person's fault, which is why systems are so complicated. It's kind of the whole network of relationships that have these binding structures. So that's not a get out of jail free card as to why things are the way they are, but it makes it a really, really difficult issue.
Explains why it's so difficult and complex.
Yeah.
So in terms of the food systems and the impact on all of the things that you've just explained about obesity, diabetes, all of that fun stuff, what do you think, like on a community local level, could be done to combat that? Do you think is there anything we can do on a local level to combat that?
I think if I've learned anything about food, it is literally connected to everything. Like, it's not a single isolated thing. Like, we don't have in any government in the world a department for food. We have the Department for Education, the Department for Environment and Rural Affairs. Like, all of these separate departments have policies that relate to food. And so in that kind of trail of thought, nothing is ever going to emerge in its own. And spaces like the community hub, from the Citizens Hub, it's like these epicenters of places where people congregate. This is like so on the ground, where people are having a real sort of glimpse into what the issues are that aren't just connected to food. It's never that someone's just got an issue with food, access to food, or the wrong type of food. It's always surrounding a wider environment.
Than just that,
yeah. And so I think it's just taking that really holistic approach to assessing what communities need, which is like exactly the Citizens Hub. It's exactly what they're doing here. And that's why I come in literally all the time, so I'm like obsessed.
But like that is why Alex and Danielle are doing the Speak Up 26, because Wellness Wednesday, we want to take that holistic approach, and we want to tackle all of the well-being obstacles, I guess.
I mean, the programme for Wednesday covers everything.
We also want to do nutrition stuff, so hopefully we'll have a breakfast for anyone who wants to come, so whether that's families or individuals, and then hopefully a community lunch as well. And those meals will work with nutritionists or specialist people who know what they're talking about when it comes to what makes a balanced meal, or what you should be prioritising at different times of the day.
And food isn't just this kind of thing to like biohack to get like super healthy and like nutrition. It's a super important part of our day, and it's, you know, like Menel's just brought us in overnight oats to share. It's such a communal thing, and it's such a nice opportunity to kind of just exchange different cultures, or exchange completely not related to food, just stories. It's such an opportunity for connection and community, and I think weaving it in to Wellbeing Wednesday Day, you just hit so many nails on the head. And I think it's just very exciting to see how it all come together. And I know there's some speakers later that are related to food, so I'm going to be keenly on the wings, maybe heckling. Don't know.
Fun.
Should we take the brown leaves off the plant? It was on the to-do list for 1 a.m. and I'm so breaking the rules because it's like 8:30.
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
we can do one each, or maybe we need to do more than one each, or maybe I'm just making it weird.
That's fine. You just
Okay.
you pull those brown leaves off. I'll speak a bit about Wellness Wednesdays and our programme.